Today I'd love to share with you my home recording studio and tips for how to do broadcast and high quality home recording at home. So the first thing I'd like to share with you is my hardware, what my environment is like, and how I set up my lights, sound, and my camera. So this is my home studio. This is a blue blanket that I just sort of had. It's a picnic blanket. It was a nice uniform color, a bright saturated blue, and I have this hung up behind me for green screens. That's how I'm doing the transparent overlay on my computer. It's a nice consistent background, and it gives me really good contrast between me and typically any clothes that I wear and stuff like that. I have it hung up using binder clips and command strips, which I found really handy. They're very nice or the command hooks. They're really nice because they don't damage the wall and you don't have to worry about paint peeling off or anything like that. I've got my microphone set up right here. It's close to me, as close as I can get. Typically this would be on a tripod, but right now my tripod is holding my other camera. I have my laptop and a second screen as well as my webcam. I use the second screen because I want there to be a place where I can see the Zoom feed and the chat and stuff like that, while at the same time I'm presenting over slides. If I'm presenting over slides, I typically have a full screen and I'm not able to see the Zoom chat and stuff like that. So having that over here allows me to keep engagement and have notifications and things go on at the same time. It's also where I sort of control all the audio and video stuff that's going on. As for lighting, I have a north-facing window sitting behind my camera and in front of me, and that makes sure that I am lit very evenly. The sun doesn't actually come in through the window. It just sort of lights the environment, and that bright window allows me to have very even lighting, very well lit, and that's really critical. So in terms of light and sound, the most important thing is the lighting. Having bright, diffused light, which means that it's not a spotlight, it's not a single light source, that doesn't have like a hot spot or something like that, allows putting that behind the camera that lights up your subject, which is you, is really important. And it makes sure that the camera can collect as much information and as much color data as possible. It makes the image really high quality, makes it really smooth, allows it to focus really well, all of that. You want really as much light as you can manage. Daylight is really, really bright and it helps a lot with that, but you don't want direct daylight. You want it to bounce off of something and then come into the room and onto the subject. The next thing is sound. This can make a huge difference. If you're using an external microphone or if you're using the microphone on your laptop, it's good, but not really as good as having an external microphone or something like that that's as close to your face as possible. And this is something where it's really amazing the difference in quality between something that's very cheap, like the microphone in your laptop or the microphone in your headphones, and in one that is special purpose for recording. I have a Samsung, not Samsung, Samson Meteor microphone. It's really nice. It only cost about $50, and I use it a lot. I use it a ton for everything, and it sounds really good. It makes a huge difference in quality. The next best thing to having a lavalier microphone or something pinned to your chest is using a set of headphones with a built-in microphone as a lavalier mic. That works really well. That works good. It's not as high quality as getting a real lavalier mic. You can find lavalier mics with a USB adapter online on Amazon for less than $50, typically $20 or $30, and that will massively increase the quality of your videos. Every time you press record, clap on camera. The idea here is that if the sound ever gets out of sync, or if you're using a different video source like I was before using the other camera, then you can synchronize the clap sequence with the audio that you hear, because you have an audio trigger and you have a visual trigger when your hands come together, and that allows you to sync up all of them when you're doing editing later. Speaking of editing, let's talk about software. I love Open Broadcast Studio. I'm using it right now to combine the screen capture of my slides with the green screen and a video capture of me so that you can see me all together, and it's all recording in one place and going directly to disk. I can edit it later using OpenShot Video Editor, which is a free and open source video editor. It's very basic. It's really only good for videos that are like, here's a title, here's a person talking, or some stuff like that, some basic editing. There's not a lot of special effects. There's not a lot of transitions. It's really basic, but it really gets the job done and does a really good job. I'll talk about some resources and the export configuration that I use in a resources slide at the end. And then I upload it all to YouTube and set it as enlisted, so students can't find it unless I link it to them in class. Most of my videos now are listed because I want people to find it. I think it's neat to share this stuff with the world. Some resources, I've got a bunch of tutorials here. I'll put these in the description of this video, and I'll also post them, share them along with the people that are distributing this. And there's some great tutorials on these tools. It only takes a few minutes and a couple of test runs to get a significantly higher quality video. And it's a lot of fun. I like making these things and sharing them with the world. My students really enjoy them, and it can really significantly increase the quality of the video that you produce.